In today's unboxing, we're going to find out what if you could say 5 words to make your bullies explode. I said, what if you could make your bullies explode? Oh, come on, what the Hey everybody, what's going on? Hope you're having a safe and awesome week. So, a little bit different unboxing and mini review today. Y'all know I'm not great at reviews, so I thought I'd pull in an expert. But before we get to that, let me get to this book. This is I Hate You, Please Die, number 2. Let's go ahead and open this bad boy up. So right off the bat, before I get into the book, let me just say, during the second campaign, there was a little bit of a mix-up, more than likely on my part because we were in the middle of moving when this happened. Apparently, I backed the wrong tier. I was trying to get just issue 2, and I told Garrett, I was like, hey man, I don't know what happened. I could swear that I chose, the cover, because why would I want the digital to number 1 when I backed number 1? Garrett, gracious as always, fixed the problem for me. I ended up getting 2 issues of number 2, so I gave 1 to Sean. So let's crack this open. I'll tell you who worked on it. I Hate You, Please Die, book number 2. Written and created by Garrett Gunn. Art by Malia Ewert. Letters and design by Dave Lentz. Edited by Christina Blanche. Garrett Gunn, Grandmaster Fiend. Dr. Christina Blanche, Supreme Fiend, and Dave Lentz, Director of Fiendish Design. Let me take a look at the back of the book. I love this color scheme they got going on here. So that was the unboxing part. Now, like I said, we got an expert to do the review.
Alrighty folks, welcome to the portion of the video where you get my expert review for I Hate You Please Die number 2. So let's just dive right on into it. The book itself starts about 1 hour after where issue 1 ends. And I don't want to spoil too much of issue 1. We're going to leave a link down in the description, or put the video probably up here somewhere on the screen towards the end for Jay's unboxing and mini review of issue 1, so you can get an idea of what that book was about. But essentially the book ends where our main character Gabe has basically used the magical phrase that he got when he made his deal with the devil, which you learned in book 1. And Gabe is basically being interviewed by the cops, and you learn while they're talking to him that even though the footage of what happened was actually caught on cameras, nothing actually implements Gabe as to the one who caused, the deaths. We're going to put it that way. But let's just say that the page at the end of book 1 was epic, and I do mean epic. So please get yourself issue 1 if you haven't, and check out what we mean by how that book ended. But yeah, so they're trying to figure it out, and Gabe blacks out while he is in Principal Blanche's office. And he wakes up the next morning, and I'm guessing he probably figured some of this was a dream, because you can kind of tell he signs on to, and you get a ton of Easter eggs in these panels, by the way. He signs on to My Face, and you see a search engine up called Goober, and this is all in line with Garrett's sense of humor. I can see him now chuckling to himself as he's probably writing this out in the script. So yeah, he's signing on to My Face, and you see posts about the deaths of the students, and you see, of course, both ways. You see the people that knew him and were their buddies, and they were like, oh my god, you'll be missed, or we give you the shirt off his back. And then you get over to the other side of the coin, where the kids that were bullied and terrorized by these people, you see those posts, and that's where some of the Easter eggs come in with the names. Garrett uses his own name as one of them, but that's where you see not gonna miss him, glad he's gone kind of thing. I'm not going to say exactly what it is, because I want you to read and have fun while you're reading these, but you get both sides of the spectrum. But of course, when Gabe sees this, you see him kind of almost choke on the water he's drinking as if, oh crap, this really is real. This really did happen. So he's going to school on the bus. He's with his friends. This is where you kind of meet Sasha, who's another friend in their group, and she's trying to do her best to cheer everybody up, you know, because his best friend, Mr. Davis, and I cannot for the life of me remember his name, his first name right off the bat, and I've been trying frantically to find issue 1 to remember it. So Jay hopefully will look at this and he'll put it down here real quick as to what his friend's first name is. But she's trying to cheer them up, and she tells them, hey, I think I got some brand new like Japanese cards for this card game that they got card pack, and so she's got some card packs that she's going to give them later. And you know, you see this. She's probably the one that's the most confident and outgoing of the three. She's also the most protective one, because you see her turn around and look at people and go, "You got a staring problem?" This and that. And we all have that kind of friend that was in our groups. You know, you had some of those that were timid, and you had the other ones that were like, you know, Sasha basically. And this book is definitely a fast read. It flowed really well from one moment to another, and I like that because the pacing never felt like it was stale and the story wasn't going to go anywhere. It moves right along. You're in the middle of the school day. They get dismissed from class. You see Gabe going to his locker, and of course everybody's staring at him like, do you really think he did it? I don't know. And of course he's at his locker, and he turns around and yells, you know, what are you all looking at? Then he turns, and of course he's looking at something in his locker, and you see a picture of the devil, and he freaks out, slams the locker door, and he runs off. You get towards the tail end of this book. They're out, I guess, it feels like it was a pep rally, but it's actually, I guess, a game, because you see cheerleaders, looks like a soccer game and whatnot for the high school. And of course they're sitting there. Sasha comes up and she's like, where can I find these things? And the two of them are like, oh, the suspense is killing us, come on. She pulls out the card packs, hands them out, and of course they're all ecstatic. They open them up and they're looking at them, and then the most hilarious thing that I know all of us can remember from high school, the two of them see the girl that they have a crush on. We all know what it was like as a guy, or even a girl, when you saw your crush, you thought they were the most dreamy thing in the world. Nothing else around you mattered. You were just focused on that. And again, you take the fact that it's that plus Garrett, add in the humor, and you get just a couple of hilarious pages, which basically, and probably the most funny line throughout the entire book, and because her name is Tiffany Parker, and they're drooling over, and the one of them goes, I bet her farts smell like cotton candy. And of course, as I read that, I laughed hard. I'm still laughing now because I can't even say it with a straight face. And of course, Sasha gets mad, and rightfully so, and she slaps the two of them silly, grabs the cartons and walks off. She's like, I tried to do something nice for you two. You can have these back when you basically you pull your heads out of your butts. And the two of them were left kind of sitting there, and you hear that they basically make reference to a noise in the back. And once again, this is where I think Dave Lentz is really, really great as a letterer. He does noises and effects really well. And I could feel when they made the noise and the two of them looked back going, what is that? That I could feel that and see that in my head. And not many letterers can do that for me. I can get the gist of what's going on by a lot of them, but for whatever reason, the way Dave, a couple other letters, like Stan Sakai or Justin Birch, they letter so well that they're able to make me feel, I guess is a good way, and see the imagery in my head a little better. It makes it a little more 3D is the best way that I can put it. They turn around, you see this dude, it just looks like a douche, getting out of a big old truck, drinking a beer. You can tell that this is probably one of the guys at school that is another one of those, douche nozzles that you just don't like. And, it flashes back to the two of them, and his buddy goes, what a tool. And Gabe goes, well, I wonder, could he be next? And what he means by that is before all this happens, and I kind of jumped out of order, so I apologize. But what he means by that is he basically was telling his friend he was the cause of the deaths of Mr. Lentz and everybody else. And he's like, how? And he told him, he goes, I sold my soul to the devil for me to be able to blow people or blow bullies up by using a phrase. And he starts to say it, and of course he's like, no. He goes, I don't think it quite works like that. I think you actually have to say it with intent. He goes, still to be safe, don't finish it. I don't want to blow up. So his friend knows basically what happened. Whether he believes it or not at this point, whole different ballgame. But he tells him what it is. His reaction is kind of, funny and what you'd expect. And that whole couple of panels where they did it was great, because this whole book is very bright and, kind of like a kid's book in terms of like art and how it looks. So it's very bright, very vibrant, very, very funny, humorous. But when he turns around and he tells him, I sold my soul to the devil, the contrast in the page was amazing. It's very dark. It's just kind of a shadowy outline of Gabe with the glasses just shining bright. You see stuff like that in horror all the time, usually done with like a mad scientist. And I really felt like Malia did a great job with that. She's been good about giving you, good juxtaposition between pages depending on what's actually going on. The first issue was the same way. Very bright and bubbly, but when it got to that epic thing at the end, they nailed it with how they drew that whole panel and how bloody and amazing it was. Just like with this, where it immediately went from, light and fun-hearted to just this kind of, you can almost say a horror comedy moment of darkness, and it was great. So the whole team on this is definitely on board with the vision that Garrett has. And Garrett has always done a good job about, whomever he's writing with, whether it's obviously Dr. Christina Blanche is who he's probably most known for pairing with. They all get on board with whatever this vision is, and it works. If you've read Good Boy, you can see that. Some of his other titles that are upcoming, Bad Girl, which is an extension of the Good Boy universe, ECPD, Blind Justice is another ashcan of his, Fear Diaries is a really good one of his, in Cold Dead Hands. Everybody he works with, they all do a great job, I guess, of figuring out what the universe is going to look like, and it's like they're all one person doing the same thing, I guess is a good way to put it. But yeah, so that is my review on I Hate You Please Die #2. Fun, amazing story. Again, this is something that there's a lot of trauma in this, and that's going to be that kind of story. So below the surface, it is much more than just this kind of fun, I guess, horror comedy. It very much deals with some very, very deep stuff when it comes to trauma and stuff you've dealt with as a child and stuff like that. So I will definitely say I'm trying not to spoil a lot of the book so that you can read it and catch that. But I really hope that anybody who has, leave a comment and let us know if you've read these first 2 issues and if you can relate to the underlying content that is within this book. I think it's going to be something that gets even more brought into the story as issues go on. I'm very excited to see where it goes. Issue 3 is actually going to be launching soon on Kickstarter, so definitely keep an eye out for that. Back it, share it. If you haven't gotten issues 1 and 2, just get a good catch-up tier. And also keep an eye on the channel, because obviously Jay and I are going to back it. We'll probably start doing more stuff like this, where with the unboxings, he's a great unboxing person. I'm not. I love doing reviews. He thinks I'm better at it, even though he does a really, really good job of it, because kind of what he does for his job when you think about it on Tuesdays. But anyway, so we're going to try to do more collaborative stuff like this. Also, this is my first video here in the new apartment where I'm at. So I'm still working on getting everything set up, but you know, this is what I could come up with for this. But anyway, I'm rambling, but let's get back to Jay so he can take you on out, let you know what's coming up on the channel.
As always, awesome to see Sean. It's a little bit harder to do videos not being in the same house anymore, but I think we're going to start doing a little bit more of these kinds of unboxing review videos. That way, Sean and I are still working on stuff together, you know, when we're not trying to do Kickstarter corners, because I'm okay with reviews. I'm okay with them, but Sean is, his memory when it comes to that is a lot better than mine. But awesome review, awesome book. Do yourself a favor. If you like the review, the book sounds cool, do like Sean said and go back and watch the little mini review for one. And if it looks cool to you, make sure you jump on the next campaign that we'll more than likely talk about when there's any news about it. But yeah, that was I Hate You, Please Die, issue number 2. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. As always, if you like what you saw, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Again, for another time, thank you so much to Sean for doing this. This was actually his idea. I think it worked out pretty great. I got one more unboxing to do. I kind of had to take it a little bit easy for about a month or two on Kickstarters while we're getting everything set up and getting payment plans for other things in place. Hopefully that'll pick back up. But I got one more unboxing for you. I don't think I'm going to be able to get Sean to review this one unless he comes over and borrows the book from me. But super excited about that. Anyway, let me let y'all go. You take care. You have an awesome rest of your week, and I will catch you in the next one. Later.